Hey guys, this is week 9 of the Tea in Tokyo podcast. My name is Saumya.
And I am Ellie.
And what did we do this week, Ellie?
So this week we went to a VR theme park for the first time. We went to an Izakaya and then we rounded up with discussing coronavirus in Tokyo.
Yeah, that and a little bit more coming up right now. So yeah, so first of all, we won Lotto. So we won $21.
We're rich.
And we also won one free ticket. That's pretty exciting.
Especially because this one is like, what, didn't you say it was like 50 million or something?
Yeah, so the free ticket is for the $50 million prize, which, if you're listening from like America, probably doesn't sound like too much, because your lotteries are ridiculous over there. But for us, 50 million is as high as it goes, so it's a must-win. So even if we don't get all the tickets, even if we only get some of the tickets, some of the numbers, we'll win.
Yeah, us and like every single other person who lives in New Zealand and like
Yeah.
like who have bought like 20 tickets. So maybe
but somebody's got to win. And because it's so much, I don't even mind if I have to share it with another person.
Even if you have to share it with like 60 million people. Well,
Nah.
yeah, actually, that's still a lot of money.
No, it's not. 50 million divided by 60 million. That's like not much. It's like 100 something thousand, right?
It's still pretty good. Like, I'd be pretty happy winning that much money.
Yeah. Nah, not me. My rule is that I only buy Lotto if it's over 20 million, because I'm very logical when it comes to everything else, but for the Lotto, I feel like you only have a set amount of luck. And I would feel so disappointed if I used my luck up for like $4 or $10 million.
See, I never like buy Lotto because I have bad luck. So no point in me contributing, because I'll probably just affect it negatively and like make it happen the other way.
Yeah, true. Especially after we got your fortune thing the other day.
Yeah,
so maybe you shouldn't be picking numbers, actually.
I know, I just have worse luck. So.
Although our winning numbers were like the random numbers, like from the random number generator.
Exactly.
That I selected. It wasn't even the ones that I had.
But the ones I had didn't win either, so, you know.
Although I've discovered the perfect way to choose numbers is I'm going back to my favorite basketball teams, and I'm picking the numbers of like the people's jerseys.
Oh my god.
It's a good methodology because it's kind of random, you know. But that was pretty exciting. The next draw is on Saturday, so you'll know next week if we are multi-millionaires or not. Yeah,
we might stop posting.
No, I feel like do you reckon we'll still do this even if we were millionaires?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're not making any money from it now, so why would having money make a difference?
Yeah, that's true. And also, I feel like if anything, the podcast would even be better, because like next week would all of a sudden be like, oh hey, we're this podcast is from like France.
Yeah, that's how you'll know, right? If we suddenly end up like somewhere else in the world.
My thing is, I realize that if we win Lotto, I would actually have to keep our jobs. Because otherwise, like, you're not allowed to live in Japan, right?
We've got a 3-year visa.
But is that for not working?
It's a working visa, so I think you had to be working when you renew it.
Right, in 3 years, you reckon? So you reckon we could quit our job now?
Technically you're supposed to be working the whole time, but, like, you're allowed to, like, quit and stop working for periods of time. But no, we'd definitely stay working. I feel like I'd get so bored if I wasn't working. Like, even when we first moved to Japan and we had like a month off, by the end of that month I was kind of like ready to be doing some work.
Yeah, because at the end of the month we ran out of money.
No, but I was also like
we had money, it was pretty fun.
I was like ready to like interact with people other than you.
Yeah, true, but I feel like you could do that even outside of work. You know, if you had money, you'd be doing more. You'd be out there more. You could interact with people more. You know, if somebody wants to do something like, hey, let's go get food, you don't have to think like, oh crap, I don't have money. So I feel like I would keep my job, but I would only work like once a week or something. Oh yeah, for sure. That's what I mean. Work a little bit. Like, work a tiny bit. Like,
yeah. The most minuscule amount of work that you can possibly do and still like have a contract.
Yeah, for sure. I've like planned out what would happen if we win way too much. Like, I think about that quite a lot.
I think everyone thinks about that. Although you're a bit, you're not as generous as me, right? I feel like we'd get poor because I'd give my money to, like, everyone. I just want everyone to be happy. Like, I'd buy everyone houses.
No, I'd give away a lot of money, too, especially if it was 50 million. You're thinking of 10 million, Saumya.
Oh,
this
sorry.
is 50 million.
Sorry.
50 million, everyone's getting quite a bit.
Oh, good. That's good to know. Although I don't get anything, right? You're always very mean about how much money I get when you win Lotto.
Yeah, because we're a couple, so my thing is that I don't need to give you anything because you already have it, whereas you like to think of us as two separate entities.
No, not quite. I just want to know that I have at least $1 million spending dollars. You know, I just want to
know
crazy.
just in case you have to get like a divorce or something one day that you'd have a little bit tucked away.
No! But
you're a smart woman.
Yeah, who doesn't want to have a little bit of separate money? I think it's really important in any relationship. Like, obviously, you're two people who have been together and you love each other, but you need to maintain your, like, individuality.
Yeah, true.
You know? You don't want to become super codependent. Like, I'm a very big fan of, like, having lives outside of each other.
Yeah, for sure.
Which we don't really have in Japan, so...
Well, I mean, we kind of do because we ignore each other quite a lot at home. So. You have your thing, I have mine.
Yeah,
it works well. Like, I watch so much basketball, you don't watch any. You read so many books and stuff. I don't do that.
Yeah, I'll just be sitting there innocently reading, and then all of a sudden, I'll just hear Saumya, like, yelling at full volume behind me.
The Miami Heat are playing very badly right now, so...
Damn.
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, to what we've actually done this week. So this week, it was actually kind of a fun weekend. So it was like a long weekend, and it started off with one of our friends having a birthday gathering. And she invited us to Marazia. Yeah, Marazia, which is like a VR theme park. So this is the first time I've ever heard of something like this.
So like an indoor theme park where you just put on like virtual reality headset and like all of the games are like seated or like standing.
Yeah, it's like it's the same like Vive headsets that you can buy just for like your computer. But obviously they've got some cool like setups.
So
like,
the environment is kind of like set up for each specific game. So, you know, it's a bit more like... E.g., I went on like a Gundam one, which sucked, by the way. But it was like you had to go sit on its hand, so they had like a thing that was set up in the exact spot where you'd sit on its hand, and like it moved around, so it made it feel like you were actually on it.
Yeah, like we were lining up for that one, and I saw you doing it, and I was like, Jesus Christ, that looks boring. Because you were just like vibrating on this chair. And then,
yeah, it was pretty
and then you
crap.
got off, and that was it.
Because, I mean, when you were in it, it was like the thing like lifted you up, and like it had a battle with another robot.
Yeah.
But like, it was pretty like, why did I wait in line for that?
You know what? That would have been kind of shit, like the experience. But what was cool was looking around and just seeing like the VR world and stuff.
Oh yeah,
I reckon when I was watching other people doing it, I reckon they weren't looking around enough.
I was looking around
have a look at all the details.
Yeah, but also like at least in that one, like the details weren't great. Like I feel like it was obviously an older game, so like the animation was a bit like poorer quality.
Yeah, I was a bit worried about this because I've done VR a couple of times. Well, the first time I did it, when my mate got it in New Zealand, it was like a horror game one. Where you like walk around and you have to like look around corners and stuff, and it's all dark and yeah, it's all scary. And man, that one made me feel so goddamn sick. Like I was literally like nauseous the next day.
Really bad
like,
motion sickness.
Yeah, like 24 hours later, I was still feeling crap.
Yeah, I think that was because that one had like a weird delay. So like you would look around a corner, and then like a second later, the visuals would catch up, and it would look you around the corner.
It could be that, but I also reckon it's because like you're just sitting on a chair and you're not actually moving. So like your eyes are thinking, oh hey, like I'm looking around right now, but your ears are like, there's no motion. You know, like you had the fluidy shit in your ear. Like that's how you get motion sickness, right? So like your ears are thinking you're not moving and your eyes think you are, and that's why like in some of the rides in Marazia, I didn't get motion sick. Like there was this awesome Godzilla ride where you sit on like you're in like a helicopter, and then Godzilla's like destroying the town. You have to fly around and you have to shoot Godzilla and stuff. And the chair was like moving quite a bit, like it was vibrating and stuff, so I didn't get sick. But then there was another one, a horror one, where you're sitting in a wheelchair moving around and you're looking around and stuff. And in that one, the chair doesn't vibrate, right? Like
it was just... Yeah. But that one was like pretty good. So in the horror one, you were like in a Silent Hill style like mental hospital or something. And, you know, there's creepy monsters everywhere and you have to, like, shine your light on them and you, like, it was, like, teamwork. So you had to talk to the person next to you because you went different ways. And we both lived, but the other people we were with all died.
Yeah. We lived in the game, but I kind of died outside of the game because I felt so sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't actually understand the teamwork in that, though, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think we used any teamwork. It was, like, purely luck that, like, we were telling each other what we were doing, but we weren't really, like, listening to each other.
All you have to do is keep going straight, and then eventually you just...
No, but you went straight, whereas I took lots of corners. And I think, because, like, at the end of that game, there was, like, a circle of death type thing, and Saumya was in the circle, and so was everyone, like the other team were all in the circle, whereas for me and Saumya, I was out of the circle so I could save him. So I think it was mainly like if you went the same direction as each other, you would all die because one of you had to go a different way to save the others.
Yeah, I definitely didn't realize that at all, but you kind of did. You, like, understood what was happening. Because you even said, like, shine the light at their face and that, like,
that's
stopped
because
them.
earlier I'd had to do that to survive against a bad guy.
Oh, right, yeah, and I didn't figure that out at all. But yeah, that one was pretty fun. We didn't actually get to do that many rides, right? We only did, like, 4 or 5 because there wasn't much time.
Yeah, well, we did the night pass, and then, so it's cheaper, and you can go on any ride at night. But we had a booking in Izakaya for like 8:30, I think it was.
Yeah, yeah.
And we arrived at like 6 or 7.
Yeah, 6:30 or something like that.
Yeah, so we were like an hour late.
Yeah, so the VR park probably isn't something that I would go to again unless there was like somebody new coming. Because to be honest, I think we did the good rides. I feel like everything else looked kind of shit.
I'd definitely do it again if we were showing someone else around Tokyo.
Yeah, for
but
sure,
I wouldn't go on my own again.
Yeah, we have a friend that loves VR, the same guy that showed us VR for the first time.
Yeah.
And if he ever comes, we'll definitely go. But I think other people wouldn't be that interested.
The other game that was really good, though, was like the Mario Kart game.
Oh, yes. Actually, yeah, I completely forgot about that one. But that was the best one by far.
So we had to wait in line for ages. But that was nice because there was other people at the birthday party that we hadn't met. So it was like a really cool chance to like chat with everyone while you're in line. Get to know each other.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that was a really long line.
I was the champion. Of course, I won.
Yeah, I don't understand how you keep winning these games.
It's a Mario.
You know? You won that Tekken tournament years ago, and now you've won this too.
I think
this doesn't make
you
sense.
always forget that I'm more of a true gamer than you.
Man, I was trying to whack you so many goddamn times with like my mallet.
But I just kept on throwing the turtle shells at you.
Yeah. It's funny because if you're not doing the ride, you can just see other people like waving their hands around and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
As they're like trying to like pick up items and hit people with it.
Yeah.
I hit myself with like an item.
Every time I tried to, I did that a lot of times. Every time I tried to use the mallet, I'd accidentally like throw it. Like it would just go flying. So I never used a mallet once. Like every time I grabbed it, it would like randomly like I'd go to like whack it. Like I'd do the whacking motion, but instead the mallet would just go flying into the distance. So
God damn it.
I didn't get to use it.
Yeah, that's a like. Yeah, that was super fun. That makes me like that's the only game that I wanted VR for in like our home. You know, like I wouldn't want to play other games in VR, but like turns out racing games like Mario Kart and like imagine playing CTR, which is exactly the same thing. So like you know, playing those sort of games would be so much fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad we went to it though. And then after that, we went to our first proper izakaya for like the birthday dinner. We had never, like, we've obviously been to izakayas in New Zealand, but we hadn't been to one here yet. And I really liked it. It was super, like, cozy. Like, there were, like, these booths, like, surrounded by walls. It was super, like, private. Not that private.
For those who don't know, an izakaya is just, like, a type of bar. It's kind of like a bar, cross pub, cross restaurant.
Yeah.
Just on a side note.
Yeah. But yeah, it wasn't that private because there was actually another group in our booth.
Well, like, yeah, they were next. So we had 2 tables and then there was a third table that had another group. Yeah. But, like, you didn't, like, it's like a noisy environment anyway, so you don't even notice.
But yeah, super cozy. I really like that. I really like it. And the bears they had like a bear. I had one, it was 500 yen, which in New Zealand dollars is like $7 or something. And man, it was like a liter and a bit of alcohol. Liter and a bit of beer. So good. So worth it.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of, like, the peach oolong cocktails. I've been getting them, like, every time. The thing with alcohol in Japan, like, cocktails, I think we've mentioned this before, is there's, like, a lower percentage of alcohol. So, like, it's like a small shot.
Yeah.
Like, you know how shot glasses are kind of shaped like a hourglass? Like, there's 2 different sides. There's, like, a bigger side and a little side. In New Zealand, they normally use the big side. But in Japan, they use, like, the half shot.
Yeah, and I don't understand why they do that. They're, like, no way they're saving that much money. But, and also, you couldn't really get much to eat, right? Because it wasn't a vegetarian place, really.
Oh, but they did have, like, it was annoying because they had a tofu dish, but then it was like the least effort tofu dish. It was like cold raw tofu, which is fine, but then it was like with fish flakes all over it. It's like, come on, just like don't put the fish flakes on, and it's vegetarian.
I ate that and it had no flavoring to it whatsoever.
Because it was literally just like cold tofu.
Yeah, what the hell's that? Like
they could have marinated it in like soy sauce and it would have been better.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I got like edamame. There was like an egg dish, but another girl there speaks Japanese, and she told me it actually had like a fish sauce in it, so that was annoying.
Yeah, and now we're wondering, does every egg because it was like those thick omelette things that are like super soft but thick, and like we've had that before, and now we're wondering like, did it always have fish in it?
I don't know. We have no way of knowing. So maybe we'll need to take her with us next time and get her to ask. But I mean, there was other stuff, like I had churros, I had, like a cucumber salad. So I did have enough to eat. It was just
but they're
like
all
less
like side
options.
dishes.
There was lots of like skewers of different types of chicken. Basically.
Yeah, we didn't get like individual meals, we just got like a bunch of stuff at the table.
I was like panicking because we were ordering so much food and everyone was drinking so much drinks and we were going to split it at the end, and I was like, we don't have enough money for how much
I don't know why
food
you're
we
planning
get.
so much. Like, there were so many of us that...
Yeah, but there was so much food.
Yeah, but it actually wasn't that much because it was like each plate had like 2 skewers, and then like everyone was like, you know, taking a bit of meat out of each. So like, it's not like we had that much food.
But in my head, I was like, if every single one of these plates is like 500 yen and we've ordered like hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Like, because one of the girls there, she's the one who like, she's been here for ages and she like speaks fluent Japanese, and she is, she's like pregnant, and she just like kept on ordering food. Like, I think she might have been hungry, or like she was worried there wasn't enough food on the table because like it was coming out slowly. So she like thought that it was all there, so she ordered more and more, and then like...
No, but the things that we needed more and more.
No,
there was no food.
We didn't finish at the end though, right? I feel like there was heaps of skewers.
I had the last bit.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, did you make sure to make the most of it?
Yeah, the only reason I wasn't eating it because I was like, oh, I've got to be nice and let other people eat it. If everyone else is like, you know, I'm full, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'll eat the rest of this.
Yeah, we ordered like fries for our table, and it went to like the other end of the table, and they weren't even eating it, and I was like sitting there watching it like, man, can we just put those at my end so that I can
everyone
eat
was
them?
too nice. Oh, you know what I loved was the chicken and the capsicum. What a great idea.
Yeah, so it was like a skewer with like a chopped in half capsicum, and then it was stuffed with chicken, right?
Yeah. I feel like, I want to make that now.
Well, you can make a vegetarian version.
Like
capsicum stuffed
true.
with
Maybe because you're really good at making tofu. Maybe you can put tofu in it and then try that out. Shall we try that tonight?
Oh, we need to buy some capsicums, but yeah.
All right, sweet.
We can put them in our wee fish grill.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, to grill them.
Yeah.
Okay, it's settled. That's what we're having tonight. Ellie's a super expert at making tofu, so...
I don't know about that. But, so we had VR theme park, Izakaya, and then after that, the next day, like, one of our friends messaged us and wanted to go out for dinner. But this was literally 2 days before our final pay. Like, at that point, we hadn't been paid for the whole 3 months that we've been in Japan, because you get paid at the end of the following month, and we arrived a month before we started working.
Yeah, so we're super, super poor.
So, like, she asked if we wanted to go out, and I was like, oh, how about you come over instead? And so it was kind of like a... it was good, because you know how with, like, making friends, I feel like you've got to get past that hurdle of, like, hanging out and doing nothing.
Yeah,
you know, versus, like, always having something fun to do to keep you, like, entertained.
Yeah, having, like, a little dinner thing at your place is always good, instead of going out all the time.
Yeah, it's a bit more chill.
It forces you to have, like, a conversation, I think. Because when you're out, you can just talk about, like, whatever new thing you're looking at. Like, oh, this restaurant, blah, blah, blah. Whereas when you're at home, you kind of have to talk about other stuff.
Yeah, so we got, like, some drinks, we bought some desserts. I made, like, some rice, some tofu, like, a bunch of different steamed vegetables, and, like, a salad. So it was really nice and chill.
Yeah, man, your last couple of weeks of tofu dishes have been on point, honestly.
Saumya's...
Like, you're on a streak of excellence at the moment.
It's literally the same tofu dish.
Yeah, and they're so goddamn good.
I've learned with Saumya, the key for Saumya enjoying food is just exposure. You know, he doesn't like it at first, but you just persist and keep on feeding it to him, and eventually he'll
I think you're getting better at it. I reckon the first time you did it was probably trash.
Nah,
and I was
honestly.
like, man, this sucks. And then you got better and better because you're like, I'll show you.
Yeah, so anyone curious, I reckon the best way to make tofu, you get a firm tofu, you chop it up into wee, like, centimetre cubes, and then in, like, butter or oil or whatever, so not vegan if you do butter, unless you do vegan butter, you fry it and, like, turn it around until each side is, like, golden.
Yeah. I don't think we don't need to like, highlight what is and isn't vegan all the time, do we? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, of course, because tofu is often a vegan dish, but if I'm adding butter, obviously.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyways, and then you do, like, I always add in, like, a tablespoon, depending on how much tofu you have, of brown sugar, or you can use honey if you have that, and then dash of soy sauce.
And do we know the difference between brown sugar and normal sugar?
Brown sugar is brown. And then you do... some like finely chopped up garlic cloves, and you just like mix it all up until it's all like a nice dark golden brown colour.
Oh yeah, and it's so good.
It's good, man.
And you have that, and I think the other thing that actually makes it really, really good is the Japanese rice.
Yeah, like sticky rice.
Yeah, the sticky rice. I will never go back to normal rice ever again.
Yeah.
Like, sticky rice is so good.
Saumya says that every time we eat this rice, so it's really true.
It's delicious. It's like, I don't understand what makes it sticky, though. Is it just the fact that it's short-grained?
I think it could potentially be because we don't like... So normally with rice, you're meant to like wash it in a sieve underwater to like get all the starch off the outside. But I can never be bothered to do that. I'm like, who cares if it's starchy?
I don't know if people do that.
Yeah. If you ever watch a video on how to cook rice, it says, like, rinse underwater until the water runs clear afterwards.
Is that a white person thing?
No, it's an Asian person thing.
Oh, really?
Man, were we just really racist?
I don't know. I'll have to... yeah, maybe I haven't been watching my mum making dinner. Because I swear she doesn't do that, but we'll see.
But I think it might depend on the type of rice. Like, I think you're meant to do it for, like, short grain rice.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? I never do it, so... I now like the way the rice turns out.
Okay, yeah, we're officially short grain rice people though. And also we need to have we need to take a rice cooker back to New Zealand. Or buy one there. Like my mum always said, man, you need to buy a rice cooker, and we always said no.
No. Saumya always said no.
Yeah, she always offered it to us and I was like, nah.
And I was always like, why Saumya? Why won't you say yes?
Help is for the weak. Yeah. I have issues. But yeah, so that was a good plan of yours to invite her over.
Yeah, because I think you just need to. So
yeah, that was good. And then the next day was a special day because Ellie had work, but well, actually, it was kind of like the reason. So I didn't have work, but the reason I didn't have work, it wasn't like a good reason. The only reason I didn't have work was because nobody hired me. Like,
so it was a public.
Nobody booked my lessons.
It was a public holiday, so they recommended that instead of doing
Emperor's
the afternoon,
birthday.
They recommended instead of just doing afternoon shifts, like the whole day would be busy. But because we put ours in like after everyone else, like normally you have to do it at the beginning of the next month, but we hadn't started working until the end of that month. So everyone else had already kind of taken those days, but my studio's busier than Saumya's, so I still got booked.
Nah, I don't think your studio is busier, honestly. Although I think your studio might have been less less affected by the coronavirus. I have a feeling that coronavirus has really screwed up my
I told you, at your area, so Marunouchi is really near Tokyo Station, and they've got coronavirus.
Right, yeah.
One of my students was telling me.
Yeah, speaking of coronavirus, like, I feel like I haven't been looking at the news enough, so I barely know what's happening in coronavirus.
Nothing's even happening, it's all good.
Yeah, but then I talk to my students, and, like, I've had at least, like, 5 or 6 now, who their workers told them to not come to work. Like, their entire building is just shut down, they work from home. A lot of them. They're a lot worried than we are.
I feel like it's obvious, it's serious. Like, it's a serious thing. It's a new virus that they haven't got a flu vaccine, like, for. When I say flu vaccine, you know what I mean. They haven't got a vaccine. Yeah. But, like, the thing is, it's got a lower rate of, like, infection than measles.
Yeah.
And most of the people who die are, like, middle-aged men. So, like, we're both kind of all good.
Middle-aged? Nah, it's old men.
Yeah, like, middle to old-aged men.
Middle-aged, like, 50.
Yeah, it's like 50, 60, 70-year-old men are the ones who are most affected by it. Like,
oh, yeah, but most people dying are, like, 70 plus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, like, we're all good. So I feel like, obviously, it's very serious because people who are vulnerable, like, who have weakened immune systems, or, like, obviously, this older generation of men who have been getting sick. But, like, we're kind of, like...
Yeah, we're okay. I actually finally did a little bit of research on this just before we did this. And 189 people have gotten coronavirus in Japan so far.
Which is, like, nothing. How many people are there in Tokyo alone, right? Like...
Yeah, but for, like, for a new virus spreading, like, maybe that's a okay amount. Actually, I don't know. I don't know how it compares with other diseases and stuff. And three of them have died. And I think 26 or something have recovered. And that's not including the people on the Diamond Princess. Is that what it was called? Diamond Princess?
The cruise ship that's in Yokohama.
The cruise ship had like 600 people infected. But that's because they're like in such close confines. I heard that some woman who came off the boat went to Tokyo, and then 2 weeks later they found that she had coronavirus.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, whoever she was like in contact with and stuff might have it too.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously a serious thing, and, like, it's not to take away from people who have been negatively affected by it, but I also feel like it is a case of, like, the media getting overexcited about something doom and gloom to report on, right? Like, It's
Yeah,
like a
and-
nice distraction from other problems in the world.
And it also might seem like a bigger thing if you're like outside of the area that's infected compared to the inside. Because like we have a friend that's coming to Japan, and he was like asking, like, "Oh man, like how's coronavirus there? Like, should I even come? Like, blah blah blah." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Dude, like I haven't noticed anything. Like everything's exactly the
Yeah,
same."
like I feel like I see lots of like New Zealand or like Western media will be like showing all these like pictures of like Japanese or Chinese, whatever, people wearing like face masks in public and being like, look at how bad it is. But they're forgetting that people wore face masks before this.
Yeah,
It's
they,
like-
they wear face masks all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a thing you do if you think you're getting unwell and you're being considerate of other people.
Yeah.
So you don't want to like cough on other people before coronavirus. So like, yeah, but lots of my students seem to be taking it really seriously.
Yeah, they are. I think like it's a pretty like serious culture here, I guess. You know, they're serious about work and they're serious about viruses.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like they can't help but take it seriously. And
Yeah.
on the day, so it was like the public holiday was
Oh, yeah,
Emperor's
sorry.
birthday, and well, actually, coronavirus has a part to do with this anyway because usually on Emperor's birthday they would have like big parades and stuff for the Emperor, and like if you go to the Emperor's palace, in like next to Tokyo Station, the Emperor like comes out and like waves at everyone and stuff. But this year they've actually cancelled that.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, so they cancelled all public gatherings in Japan,
Wow.
or at least in Tokyo. So there was nothing like I was wanting to go to that because I had the day off, but I couldn't. But that's all right. I ended up going to Tokyo Tower, so that
Yeah.
was the first time either of us have been to Tokyo Tower.
Yeah, Saumya went on an adventure without me. I can't
Yeah.
believe it. I was busy working away, doing so busy.
Yeah, but I was kind of working too because I was taking photos.
Yeah, whatever.
So photography is an important thing. And yeah, that was kind of fun. It was a nice wee tower there. Nice photos. It was like a clear day. Because normally whenever I'm taking photos outside, it's always overcast here.
It's because it's winter.
Yeah, true. But
And we're heading into spring.
speaking of heading into spring, I took a very nice photo that I'm pretty proud of. That's
Yeah.
on the Tea in Tokyo Instagram. And also on Ellie's Instagram.
Yeah, I
'cause she
stole his
it.
photo.
Yeah.
He showed it to me to like say I'm posting this on Tea in Tokyo, and then I stole it and I posted it on my Instagram.
Yeah, I was happy because I had gotten like so lazy at editing photos and stuff. Like I was so into it like 2 months ago. I was doing it like every day, and then I had a month of just like being lazy as and not doing it at all. Didn't go take photos. I didn't edit any photos. So it's only recently now that I'm getting back into it.
Yeah. Which is good. You know, it's good to have like a nice little hobby.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to see the before and after.
Oh, Saumya loves those before and afters. He'll
Yeah,
call
honestly.
me over and be like, all right, come look at this.
It's crazy how much you can change a photo, you know?
Yeah.
And I used to be one of those like pretentious douchebags who was like, oh my god, I can't believe this photo is photoshopped. You know? But then I realized like, you know what, that's fine.
It takes skill to do Photoshop. It's not easy.
Yeah, it takes skill, and also like a lot of people take photos and then like you know, change things in Photoshop. They're not claiming to be like photojournalists, you know. They're not showing things as they are. Like I'm not trying to like take a photo and be like, oh, this is exactly what I saw. It's like I'm taking a photo to be like, hey, look how cool this is.
I feel like when you Photoshop it as well, like at least what you're doing currently, I don't know if this will change in the future, you're like keeping it pretty like true to what it actually was anyways.
Yeah, that's true, because the camera can't always capture what it looks like when you're actually looking at it.
Like you're just kind of enhancing it to make it look more accurate. If
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, that's true.
Like to make the colours reflect what they actually were.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, that's how we can justify it.
Yeah, but yeah, that was fun, and also because Ellie wasn't there, you know, I got to go into all these restaurants and eat meat
Yeah, you know what?
without even having to worry about
So
it.
I've got really poor eyesight, right? But my nose makes up for that. And I always know when Saumya's been eating meat because his scent changes.
Yeah, that's so creepy. Like Ellie's like the werewolf. I've never understood that, but like without fail, like I'll just be walking around and Ellie will be like, "Did you have meat like yesterday?"
It's not like he smells like meat, but his scent changes, and I've now learned that that is associated with meat. So it used to be when we used to flat together, if he like went home secretly and ate food at his parents' house but didn't tell me, so I still cooked him a meal because he was big fatty and having 2 meals, I'd always find out because I'd be like, wait a second, this guy smells like he had chicken.
Yeah, honestly, it's so weird. And it's not like it's even like a particular... At first I thought it might have been like a particular spice or something.
Yeah,
but
that's
now
what I thought too.
I've had so many different types of meat, and you're always just like... You always just know.
Yeah, it's because it's not like you smell like meat, but you smell different.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a weirdo, and I have a good sense
Yeah,
of smell.
honestly, it's so weird. Yeah. You're the perfect example of like people whose like one of their senses gets so much better because their other sense is so shit. Like your
Yeah.
eyes are so bad.
Yeah.
And your nose is so good. Meanwhile, I'm average at everything.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if anything, I actually have a terrible like sense of taste, which probably means I have a terrible sense of smell.
And don't you also have terrible hearing? So
yeah,
maybe you're below. But is your vision really good?
It used to be, but now that's getting bad as well.
Yeah, damn our old age creeping up on us.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's so weird. I want to see, like, if there's any studies on people who are, like, who can smell people differently, depending on what they eat.
You know, I think it's something I didn't even actually notice when I ate meat, so maybe my scent was changing too.
Yeah, true.
But, like, now that it's been so long since I had it, my body's, like, adjusted, you know? Yeah, we should study me. Let's do a scientific experiment.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do an experiment on you.
The thing is, I think it would only work on smelling you, because I know what your normal scent is.
Oh, yeah, true.
Not that it's weird, because when you haven't eaten meat, I don't notice a specific scent.
Yeah, but it's only when I have.
Yeah. It's only when it's different that I'll notice.
So odd.
So I don't think I'd notice it for a stranger, unless, like, it had to be someone who I'm around a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the body's a weird thing.
It sure is. And on that, I think that's the end of the podcast. Yeah, do you have anything else?
No, that's all good. We'll see you guys next week.
All right, well, yeah, thank you for listening. Remember to follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. Don't bother following us on Facebook, because we don't use that anymore. Facebook is shit. But you can if you want.
Yeah, and, don't forget you can download us at all of the different podcast places.
Yeah, and leave a review or, like, a rating.
Yeah, so you can download us on, like, Spotify, Apple, any of your usual podcast listening applications.
All right, bye.
Bye.